Shalom, welcome back. Wanted to just share personal experiences over the last couple of weeks. So I watched a video a couple of weeks ago on Barb's channel, the For Yahweh channel, and she talked about a book, The Game of Life and How to Play It by Florence Scovel Shinn. And it was a book written about 100 years ago by this lady. And a lot of the focus of the book is about like prayers and affirmations. If you're asking for a prayer to be answered, you act as if you already have the prayer answered. So if you're asking for a job or money, then act like you've already got it. Don't penny pinch and worry about going out to eat. Go out somewhere nice to eat if you're waiting to hear about some money you're supposed to be getting, because then you're acting as if you've already received the blessing, whatever it is. And a lot of this book is recommended prayers and affirmations. And I didn't really like the language of the book. She would refer to the Heavenly Father as Eternal Spirit. So she would say things like, Eternal Spirit, I thank you for, the house that you're going to give to me under grace in a perfect way. And so the language was a little weird. It's kind of, I guess maybe a little bit uncomfortable. It kind of sounded new agey. So I took these prayers and affirmations and I changed Eternal Spirit to, Heavenly Father and that sort of thing. And I added to the end of the prayers, in Yeshua's name, Amen, or whatever. But I read this book, and she said that, when you start saying these prayers and affirmations, you'll probably have some chaos at first, but then God will respond, and you'll get a lot of these prayers. Like what you're basically doing is you're asking for Him to give you the blessings that He has set aside for you. So if you're asking for a job, Father, give me the job that is mine by divine right, that is part of your plan for my life. And if God has some special job planned for you, then that's going to kind of move Him to let you have this job that He's got set aside for you. So I watched the video and I downloaded the book and I read the book. It's pretty short. It's only 46 pages. And so I said the prayers, for a job, Father, whatever job you have for me, please, release it to me. And, I said these prayers on a Sunday night. Monday I go into work and I get let go from my job. Now I was working at a temporary assignment. And I went in, and if you've ever worked for a temp staffing agency, a lot of times you'll get let go for stuff and not even know why, or you don't really get a reason. What I was told was that there was some mistakes made, and I don't know exactly what mistake it was, or what I did, or even if I did it. At this particular job, there's a lot of times I would get there would be a mistake, and so they would come to the wrong person, not just me, but there wasn't a good tracking system as to who did what there. Anyway, long story short, I got let go from my job the very next day. And I was like, oh, great. You almost, don't know what you're praying for. And, but I was like, you know what? Keep positive, and it's gonna go well. And this is part of God's plan, because I asked Him to give me a new job, and He's gonna give me the perfect job for me. And then the next day, me and my son are going out to eat. As a matter of fact, I was going out to eat because I was like, you know what? I'm not going to act like I'm freaked out about losing my job. I'm going to take my son out. We're going to have lunch, and we're not going to act like we're scared about money or anything, because Father's got this in His hands. And so we're going to the restaurant, and my truck breaks down. So I lose my job, my truck breaks down in 2 days. Long story short, we got the truck fixed, but I've been looking for a job, and I got hired for a new job. Actually, I got the offer letter yesterday. It's the same job title as what I was doing before, the same job title at the temporary job I got let go of, but this is a permanent position. It is for 1.5 times what I was making. In fact, this will be the most I've ever made as a salary in any job I've ever had. I start in a couple of weeks, but and talking to the guy in the interview and learning what this job is going to entail, it sounds perfect. Haven't actually started the job yet. It may not be quite as glamorous as I think it's going to be, but really, I mean, it is really like the Father released the perfect job to me. Barb did a presentation on this book. I'm gonna leave a link in the description to her video and to where you can download the book and read it. But I was kind of skeptical, but I'm really stunned. I'm stunned that the very next day I lost my job and this other stuff happened, but then everything worked out. And as long as I go to this job in 2 weeks, man, it's going to be perfect. And the Father really went above and beyond what I expected. I thought that I was interviewing for a job to be actually making less than the job I just lost. And it ends up being 1.5 times the salary. So my salary was, 2x, and now I'm going to be making 3x. And it's pretty incredible. So thank you for listening. I suggest checking the book out. Like I said, man, I changed the prayers and affirmations. I made it, put it in the language that I was comfortable with. And Mrs. Shin uses a lot of scriptural references to back up the things she said. It's just, the vocabulary was the only thing I was worried about. So I recommend this book and give it a shot and see if maybe it'll change your life. So, shalom.